G'day people, let's have a look at some good examples of signage today and think about how the things we're going to see right now could be applied to detours for cyclists around work sites. So this is the first one. Now I actually spotted this yesterday when I was out for a ride, and I was able to read this entire thing as I was riding past at 25 kilometers an hour and absorb what it was saying. So first thing, who's the sign directed at? Well, it's very clear, cyclists and pedestrians. What's it all about? Well, there's going to be an event on the shared path. Good, okay, and what's the event? Well, it's going to be the Bridges Fun Run. Okay, so we already know there's going to be a fun run on the path and we need to watch out for it. When's the event going to take place? Well, it's going to be next Sunday in the morning. Isn't that great? So if you're out riding around the river next Sunday between 8:30 and 10:30, watch out for the runners. If you want to know more information about this, well, there's some contact details. They didn't have a link to the website, but look, here's the map anyway, and it shows you what's going to be happening. So what do I think of this? It's professional, it's been well thought out, and it's been tested. This is a really good example of signage. Now this is a little bit further around near the Narrows Bridge where they've recently cut down a bunch of trees because of the shot borer and all the rest of it. And I walked along that path and over the bridge and spotted this stuff. Now let's just have a closer look at this and think, well, how could some of the principles here be used at, say, the Fremantle Traffic Bridge? First thing, good use made of pavement markings to also provide information. Now have a look at what they've done to the gate here. First thing is they've stuck some reflective yellow tape on the top and the bottom, and they've also put that kind of reflective, I don't know, what do you call it, police tape across there as well. So hopefully no one's going to go crashing into that gate in the dark. Now they've used core flutes of two different sizes here, and look, they're nice and big, they're colourful, they stand out from a mile away, and I really like the way they've done the legends here and the colour schemes. The only thing I don't like is this map is upside down, but otherwise it's great. And I like how they've used this no entry sign to denote that where the path is closed. That is such a good idea. I'm going to steal that and use that from now on because, you know, when we drive, we're used to seeing these things to say, you know, don't drive up this thing onto the freeway or don't go down this one-way street. Why not just recycle this symbol to say it's closed? Because this is what I saw 100 metres away at the Mounts Bay Hospital. No entry into this area. Walked on another 100 metres and there was a sign on the other side of the road saying no entry into this the slip lane or whatever the heck it was. It's a well-recognised symbol. We might as well use it. And I will go into that map in a little bit more detail in the future, but let's get this out of the way. So there's also doing some resheeting of St George's Terrace, and they had some great signage out for drivers. Now, what can we take away from this? How can we apply this? Notice there's two of every single sign, and they've got one sign on each side of the road. It's great. You could not miss this stuff if you were driving through. And look here, they've got side road closed, no right turn, and they've got two examples of that sign. They've got merge left, and again, they've got two examples of this sign. They've just, everything's doubled up. Side road closed, detour ahead. They've made great use of these large stands, whatever you call them, to put the signage out. And there you can see the resheeting work that's underway. They also had made good use of cones and the chevron signs and the variable message signs to draw the eye and show drivers exactly where they had to be driving. This was a well laid out detour. Now if we go to the East Perth PSP detour, one of my niggles about this was the signage from week to week moved from one side of the road to the other that was telling us to turn right here. Why not do the duplication that we saw on St George's Terrace? Have a sign on the left-hand side of the road telling us we're turning right here, and a sign on the right. Now similarly, there's this straight ahead arrow that was hiding behind the parked car. Why not duplicate that and have the same sign on the other side of the road? And over here, they're coming in the other direction. Yep, there was a single arrow sign on one side of the road. Why not have that on both sides of the road? It's just common sense. It works really well for us when we're driving. Why not apply the same thing when we're cycling? This isn't rocket science. So yeah, I think it just shows there's some very simple principles here that could be adopted. I really like the use of color on the Fun Run sign. I thought it was great. It really stands out. Again, I thought the color and the details that they had on the Kings Park signage was excellent. We should definitely steal some of that stuff. And the principles of duplication. duplicate signage where necessary. And that, I mean, that doesn't mean duplicate every single sign on a cyclist detour, but certainly if you're going to put signs up on one side of the road telling people that you've got to turn one way or the other, then you should have them on the other side of the road as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that was useful.